TikToker Rhegan777 has found herself with some hefty allegations being made against her. A former roommate has come out to even chime in on the situation that has been brought to light, and it's turned into this insane story that fans feel divided about. Now, I'll say, in hearing about everything, it sounds like everyone is sort of at fault in one way or another that lived in this house that we are about to talk about, and nobody is entirely innocent here. It's a really strange story, and I truly just feel for the cat involved here. But let's break down this entire story that's been going viral for how crazy it is. Back in 2022, Antonio Garza went on Lorraine and Noah Beck's podcast. She made a comment about knowing a TikToker who killed her cat, and now suddenly, 2 years later, this podcast clip has gone viral.
I know an influencer who killed her cat.
What?
Yeah.
On purpose?
No.
Oh.
It was a TikToker, I guess.
Addison?
No, and not like one of the girls.
Oh. Oh, James.
Okay, I'll say it, but we could bleep it. Do you know the girl named
Yeah. She killed her cat.
neglected it, and then her friends had to take it out of her house?
No. I don't like hearing things like that,
Yeah.
actually, really.
It was fine.
Oh my god.
Wait,
It died?
really?
Oh, R.I.P. That's so sad.
Oh my god.
People had started putting some pieces together and felt that it was TikToker Rhegan777 who Antonio must have been talking about. You might remember her from the whole Coachella Revolve X Pizza Slime sign drama, where she called out the brand for their 1 million followers go this way, under 1 million followers go that way signs. Well, basically, she had adopted a cat in 2021, and an Instagram photo here confirms that it was in March of 2021. Now, fast forward all this time to this year. In May, Rhegan had actually previously addressed this cat situation. It was in a now deleted TikTok, but she said that she didn't do such a thing, and that back in 2021, one of her roommates snuck into her room, resulting in the cat leaving and escaping their house because the back door was left open.
She killed her cat by keeping it in a closet. Never happened. The reason that I don't have Seven anymore, which was the name of my cat, is actually really up. I was moving rooms because I had to move rooms in the middle of doing the content house that I was in. I was on the first floor and I was moving to the second floor. It was like an hour and a half to move my stuff. I had her in my room so that I could move her after I'd moved all of my stuff, because it didn't make sense to move her before I moved everything in there. It would have freaked her out having me move all these boxes and all this other stuff. Very logical. That is not a long time to leave your self-sufficient cat alone. In between that time, keep in mind I was living with 9-10 people. Someone was in my room without asking me while I was setting up my stuff in my new room. I know this because there was a laptop on my bed, which obviously no one came forward and said was theirs. It was in there and then it wasn't. Also, I obviously pressed everyone in the house multiple times. No one said that they did it. And my room just so happened to be the only room that didn't have a back camera working. By my back door, I go in there to move my cat. My back door's open. First thing I do, search for my cat Seven. It's nighttime. I have a black cat. Really hard to find her. Next day, same thing, search for her. By that time, still can't find her. I'm freaking out because I can't find my cat. I end up texting the girl that I adopted her from, asking for things that I can do. I end up leaving like her bed outside, her toys outside. Days pass by and I still can't find her, and I never ended up finding her. Shortly after that, I ended up moving into my own apartment and I started living alone for the first time. That is also the reason that I will never get roommates again, because no one fessed up, we didn't have any cameras, and someone had obviously opened that back door for my cat to get out.
It's important to note that Rhegan was living at the Go House at the time, which was a reality game show house a bunch of influencers lived in, and that is when this all went down. And we will get into how the roommates play a role in the situation in just a little bit. Now, earlier this month, in June, a Reddit post had come out by someone who wrote, Rhegan777 starved her cat to death. I have it on good authority from members of the Go House that the cat Seven that Rhegan had in 2021 while she was living at the Go House was severely neglected and starved to death in her closet. Rhegan went out of town, back to Texas, and didn't ask anyone to look after it. Members of the house had called Rhegan to ask her if she had asked anyone to look after it, and she said she didn't. The members of the house found the cat in her closet severely ill and took it to the vet. The vet suggested putting the cat down, but said they could try to save its life with IVs and stuff, but it would probably be hopeless. They tried to save its life, but it died in one of the members' arms. When Rhegan came back to the house, they lied to her and said the cat ran away to avoid tension. Rhegan did not care at all that her cat ran away and said that it was probably with a better family now, and she did not put any effort into looking for it or checking with local shelters. I saw her post a cat on her story and got very concerned. I have no idea why nobody from the Go House has ever said anything about this, maybe because they know they're in the wrong too. Rhegan ended up addressing the situation once again, making mentions of this viral podcast clip stating that she's actually friends with the people in the podcast now, but not back then, which is interesting to note, but this is what she had to say.
There's this podcast going around saying that I killed my cat. It's like 4 people all as to whom I'm friends with now, but I'm guessing that the podcast was from a long time ago, probably like 2021. I don't know, because in 2021 I had a cat named Seven. I used to post with her all the time. You can find videos of her if you look up Seven, Rhegan's cat, something along those lines. I had her when I first moved to an apartment, and then I moved into a condo house, and I had a master bedroom which was literally bigger than my actual apartment at that time, and was able to take her with me. After a few months of living in that house, we all switched rooms. We did that multiple times. I was the only person that hadn't switched my room ever, and so I was the one that needed to switch my room in the game show that I was in. This is back in 2021, and as I was switching rooms, I was going from the upper level to the bottom level. This is like when I was 18, so it was a bigger deal than it should have, but everyone knew that I was, because of the game show, moving rooms. Mine, I'm only moving one floor, so it only takes me in all like an hour and a half to move everything. I go down towards the end to get my last things, to get her litter box and start getting everything together to move her up, and I notice that my back door is open. I immediately freak out because I have a cat. So my back door is open, I have a cat, they're very curious, she's gonna go back there. Long story short, I've explained this story so many times on social media, and then people comment things about it and say that I like killed my cat, that I starved my cat, that XYZ. I'm guessing because of this podcast, because I've always wondered where that came from. Because keep in mind too, I live with 10 people, so anyone can, like, they would all know if I killed my cat, and none of them would hang out with me afterwards if I killed my cat. Like, that's just such a big thing to say.
She explained the same thing from the previous video where she tried to set out the cat's things, but she never returned back to her. She claimed these were all just made up lies that were being said about her, and she expressed how much she loved her cat and that it was traumatizing for her cat to have run away the way that she did, and made note that it would be crazy for her to have done such a thing like this, and then members of the Go House still would hang out with her. After her response, one Reddit user shared videos and pictures that they claimed came from one of Rhegan's roommates at the Go House, showing the cat's condition she was at the time that they claimed that they took the cat, claiming that the cat looked malnourished and that the fur was matted. They shared a screenshot of the message they received from said roommate, and the story was a little bit different from the original Reddit post, but it did still claim that the cat didn't actually run away, but that this roommate had rescued the cat from Rhegan's care and tried to care for it, but it was just too late and it passed. But made note that they never told Rhegan the truth of what happened and let her believe that the cat just ran away. I'll also say that this whole story about Rhegan having gone on vacation to Texas and that was when they got the cat, that doesn't seem to be the case, because the one thing that Rhegan is claiming and the roommate is claiming is that she did seem to be in town the entire time this was going on. So I don't know where that came from, but just to clear that up. So in the messages between one Reddit user and the roommate had said, "See, this is crazy because I don't think Rhegan even knows we took it and tried to save it. I left the back door open to make it seem like it ran away. But yeah, the story is true. My mom was in town visiting me and we went in the room and the cat was living by itself, locked in her bedroom downstairs, and it didn't have any food or water when we went in and was having trouble walking, and its hair was like matted and didn't look healthy at all. And so we made the decision to take it to the vet and get it checked and try and save it, and we left the door open to make her think that the cat just ran away to avoid confrontation, and the vet said it wasn't good and said we should try to put it down or we could try to save it, and I love animals, so I spent like $1,000 trying to save it and took it back home, and then it died in my roommate's arms when I was at the Go House filming. I had an apartment at the time too, but she was in town, yeah, but she obviously still doesn't even know herself that this happened, so I don't think she's purposely lying about the situation. This is just the first time." And I guess he ends with saying she's hearing about it. Antonio Garza ended up coming out to address the podcast clip and the Reddit information in a new TikTok.
Okay, I'm gonna clear something up really quick because there's crazy things happening online being said and it involves me. So I'm gonna talk about it to the best of my ability. So there was a podcast clip that went viral earlier this week where I said that a TikToker or influencer had allegedly unalived their cat, and people went crazy with it because obviously that's a really crazy statement. But here's the thing. One, I did not come up with that story. I did not make it up. It was a rumor that I was told by people who lived with her at the time. This was also 3 years ago, by the way, that podcast happened. And somehow it ended up on the internet, unbeknownst to me. I don't know. But what I can tell you is that I was getting thousands of comments, hate comments, nasty, of people telling me that I was a liar and that I made this up. And with new developments tonight, things that I'm now seeing for the first time in my life, now I could say confidently that I don't think either of those things are true. I did make this up, and I don't think I was lying, completely. Obviously, the wording of what I said was gross, and I regret that. And also, the fact that I spread a rumor on a podcast was also dumb. So for both of those things, I am sorry. This should have never happened, and there's also, maybe this shouldn't have ever made it to the internet. It's just something stay off. However, in my opinion, with what I've seen tonight, and I don't know if any of y'all have seen it. I hope you don't, because it's unfortunate. It is really nasty. And as a cat owner, it bothers me. It really does. Like, it's really upsetting. And to have to deal with people the past week calling me a liar. And now today I'm getting confirmation that, like, I don't think I was lying. I also want to make it clear that I didn't have any proof of this actually happening until today. So when I said it originally on the podcast, I didn't know if it was true. And even this past week when I was getting called a liar, I didn't know if I was or not. So for that, I'm sorry, because I was spreading a rumor. But, I can't confirm or deny personally because I wasn't there. And the only people who can are the people who told me, and they don't seem to want to talk about it. So, but anyways, and if you want my opinion on it, I will say I do own 3 cats. They are my babies. They are my children, and cats dying at such a young age, that just doesn't happen unless something is wrong. And usually you could tell if something is wrong with a cat way before things get that bad. And they should be taken to the vet. And I think, in my opinion, if that happened, that cat might still be alive today.
Antonio wasn't the only one to speak out. TikToker Haley Sharp posted a video saying that she knew about Rhegan's animal neglect for 3 years and said that she never spoke up because other witnesses had said that they wouldn't. But now that there's alleged proof that was coming out, she felt more comfortable to share her story.
I've known about Rhegan neglecting her cat for 3 years. The people who lived with her, the 2 people who told me, were never going to come out about it. So that's why I've never said anything, because it would have just been my story versus hers, and I had no proof. But now there is proof resurfacing almost 3 years later, and I have no problem telling you guys that this story is 100% true. There's videos of the cat in a neglected state with matted fur, looking skinny, malnourished, having seizures, and people are still blindly supporting her, which is why I feel like I have to say something and tell you guys that this happened. My story's not as good as the firsthand people who live there, but I really don't think they're going to say anything. So, looking at that comment section, seeing people support her, it makes me very sick and very pissed off. So that's why it's true. Sorry. Please go on the Reddit and watch the videos before you leave hate on my video.
Now, like I said, there are photos on Reddit of the cat, the way that it looked when this roommate had gotten it, videos of it seizing. I'm not going to play them just because those types of images are really just extreme, and I don't even think I can show something like that, but they are out there on Reddit. As the story seemed to get bigger and bigger, former Go House member and Rhegan's former roommate Jacob came forward to say the allegations were true, and it seemed as though he was the roommate that the Reddit post had referenced as the one who tried to rescue the cat and take it to the vet.
Hey guys, so recently there have been some allegations regarding one of my old roommates and what happened with her cat, and unfortunately I have to say that those allegations are true, and I was the one that tried to save the cat. My mom was in town and we noticed that Rhegan's cat did not look good and its hair was matted and it looked super skinny and seemed sick or malnourished. So we decided to open the back door to the bedroom and take the cat and take it to the vet. I did this because I knew that the cat had been sick before and was never taken to the vet, and I thought that the only way for me to save it would be to take matters in my own hands and take it to the vet and open the back door and make it seem like it ran away. When I took the cat to the vet, they said that she looked extremely unhealthy and malnourished and offered to put her down because they didn't think that she was going to be able to make it. But we decided to try everything we could to revive her and give her food and water, just see if she was able to make it or not, because we didn't want to just give up and put her down. I ended up having the cat for about a week, and it unfortunately did not make it after taking it to the vet and doing everything we could. The exact cause of why the cat didn't make it is still up in the air, but as you guys can see in the videos that are on Reddit and TikTok, the cat did not look good, and that's how it looked when I took it away from the house, and nothing was being done for the cat, so I thought that I had to try and save it. The reason I never came forward with any of this is because I didn't think that it needed to ever be online, and I quite frankly just wanted to move on and forget about it, as it was pretty messed up having to see a cat have seizures and die, and my roommate and I just wanted to move on and forget about it and not have to keep talking about it. Regardless of how the cat passed away, whether it was from not having food or water or if it passed away from just being sick, regardless, it needed to be taken to the vet. And if I didn't take it to the vet and try, it would have just passed away at the Go House in the closet.
He also addressed why he never told Rhegan, saying that he felt she didn't care.
The reason I never told Rhegan the truth about what happened to her cat was because after it ran away, she never once made missing poster signs or posted on TikTok asking for people in LA to help her find it. And I just didn't think she cared that much about the cat.
He then posted another TikTok saying all he wanted to do was save the cat and adopt it to someone who would care for it. He said the receipts that he has are just texts from this time between his mom and his roommate, who was helping him watch the cat while he was filming at the Go House. And the text message that he got from his roommate who was watching the cat was on August 16th of 2021. It said, "She could be on her last legs. She was in her kitty litter this morning, not moving. She seems too weak to move, so I fed her the nutrients they gave her, and I'm giving her water with a syringe." For a timeline, Rhegan moved rooms according to her on August 4th, so that was the day that Seven went missing in her eyes, and the day that her roommate, Jacob, took the cat into his care. And we're seeing in these text messages that the cat was on her last leg on August 16th. Rhegan came out to address this all in a 3-part TikTok, saying that she did not neglect her cat and that her cat was actually sick due to an underlying condition. She tried to reach out to the adoption center that she had gotten the cat from for assistance and admitted that she should have just taken Seven to the vet.
There's still a lot of things going around about my cat Seven. There's an account that posted screenshots and videos from someone saying that they lived in the Go House, saying that they took my cat and pretended to leave the door open because I didn't take care of her and I malnourished her and they were taking my cat to the vet. So they pretended that it ran away so that they could do that without confrontation. To make a very long story short, because there's a lot of things in between, again, I 1000% did not malnourish my cat, not take care of my cat, or not give my cat attention. During the process of before my cat got out, and there's videos online too. I can't find them because I have 3 accounts. I don't remember which account it was posted on. It also could have been my ex's account, but there's a video of my ex holding Seven and us talking about how she was sick. During that time period, Seven was sick, but it wasn't to the point of her being overly skinny. It wasn't from not being fed or not having water. I talked to the adoption center within that time period asking what I should do. Should I take her to the vet? Should I wait it out? What do I do? And I was told she could just have a cold. So literally within the time period, few days period of me waiting was when this was all happening. And I'm saying this because there's videos of a sick cat who was having seizures and who was really skinny and pointing it towards that it was my cat and that I had malnourished my cat and that it was sick because it was not being nurtured.
Now in the video, she mentioned how the reason why she was even moving rooms in the first place was because people were upset that she had the master bedroom in the house, which she said she wanted the big room because she had a cat and it was the same size as her original apartment and she wanted that space for the cat, but it was an issue with the other roommates. And she said that there is a YouTube video out there from this time period titled "Influencers Move Out of TikTok House." It's posted July 20th, just a few weeks before it said that the cat passed. And in the video, the roommates learn their new room assignments. Rhegan is to keep her big room, but is about to get a roommate in her room, while some others are switching into new rooms. But then they started to kind of like bicker about the big room, the fact that Rhegan has it, and the cat, and basically said that the boys should share the big room and then the girls can all have their own smaller rooms and not have to share with anyone. So this is why she was moving.
An issue with the room switching at the moment. Obviously, we all know, I can't even say it, but the cat, you can bleep it. There's a cat. And Mitzi's allergic to the cat. And that's an issue, obviously, you know? So, I have one solution.
It smells, it shits all over the place. And
It does not.
It actually is not that bad.
It does not.
It's not that bad, but I have a solution.
Don't bother me that much.
Hear me out, guys. I have a solution.
I'm a cat person. I love the cats.
What if the girls, they all get their own room? There's one room available on the bottom, there's Ace's room, and there's my room. And the 2 biggest rooms are split between the 4 boys, 2 and 2.
You know, now that it's like 7 people, why squeeze in one room?
That fixes the cat problem. You get to share with Ace. She has her own room. You can go to her room.
You can go to her room.
Yes.
Yep.
There's no cat. Cat can stay. Cat's not evicted.
Yeah, I like that.
So now,
But Ace doesn't want to leave his room.
well, there has to be sacrifices made.
Rhegan later wanted to provide some receipts of sorts in a TikTok of Seven not being neglected.
Here's proof that what I'm saying is true. I didn't want to make this video because it has videos of like my ex, and it's just like, I know it's gonna open a whole nother can of worms, but very serious allegations, so I'm just gonna put it out there. Sorry to anyone's face that I'm putting in these videos, but I obviously have to defend my name with such a big allegation again. There is this video of my ex with Seven on August 1st. I moved rooms, because this is a picture and I'll show you these in full, on August 4th. During the nighttime, 8 p.m. was whenever I finished putting my closet together. Here's the video of my ex with my cat on August 1st. Bless you.
Gotta stop getting sick.
My ex says, you gotta stop getting sick, dude, because my cat would get sick often. My cat would get sick for like 2 or 3 days. It would just be a cold. So whenever the adoption center told me it could just be a cold, I didn't think anything of it. That's August 1st, and within 3 days of that video is when my back door was left open. I would hang out with Seven all the time. Like, she was my cuddle buddy. I have a picture of me saying my cuddle buddy, or a video. This is in the master bedroom before I moved rooms. Anytime I had friends over, we would hang out with Seven. This is me proving that I cared about Seven, but also the state that she was in within just a few days before that had happened, before the door was left open. When I tell you all of that stuff's just as shocking to y'all, or to me as it is to y'all, I'm meaning it, because here is literal proof. This was July 27th, also less than a week before the door was left open. It says, I got Seven a water fountain.
She later stitched her old roommate's video showing photos and videos of what the cat looked like before she thought that she ran away, trying to show even more that this cat was not malnourished.
I'm gonna show y'all Seven the night before all of this happened. August 3rd at 10 p.m. These are videos, and I can only post screenshots because I stitched this video and I can't add a video overlay. Here's another picture, which I will be posting the full videos after this. Where is my cat's hair matted in that? Also, between August 1st and August 3rd, my cat had gotten better. Seven had gotten better. As you can see in those screenshots, she does not look how she looked on August 1st, which she wasn't even how she looked in all the videos that are posted on Reddit that you took and posted. Nor does she look malnourished, nor does she look as sick as the videos that you posted, nor is she walking funny in any of my videos the night before you took her. So what really happened? This picture is going around of Seven. This is Seven the day that I adopted her. The day that I adopted her. Had Seven had any underlying conditions that I was not made aware of, I would have done more about that, and I would have had her on medicine. I would have done a lot more.
She then calls out her former roommate Jacob, who took her for not telling her about taking her or going to the vet, or that she even passed away.
You admit to stealing her, taking her to the vet, not being able to do anything about it, and then posting videos of her seizing, her in horrible condition, her not being able to walk, and just recording her and then posting those. And you wanted to avoid confrontation. If my cat was in that state, which I have video evidence of her less than 24 hours before, you tell the owner, who obviously cared about her. Jacob, you didn't even live in the house for a whole month. You cannot attest for how Seven was treated, if she was being fed, if she was being watered.
Rhegan later calls out how Jacob has reached out to her in the past trying to hang out, so this whole thing is just really weird to her.
Jacob, you have messaged me multiple times, like especially in 2022, right after Go House, asking me to hang out, apologizing for Go House and all the drama. Who hangs out with someone when you think that they neglected their cat? Like, there's so much from the story that's not adding up.
Rhegan does take accountability in the fact that she should have taken the cat to the vet in the first place, though.
To be the one person who wasn't at the house constantly and was gone for a month, and to think that you had the authority to take my cat when she was not in that condition, and then take videos of my cat after taking my cat and pretending that she ran away in a completely different condition, is beyond me. And I'm not trying to shift blame here, because when she was initially sick on August 1st, I should have taken her to the vet instead of just calling the adoption center. I should have. But on August 3rd, y'all see her condition. Y'all see what she looks like. Whether she had underlying health conditions or not, I should have been the one that was there with her when that happened. And to know that you took videos of my cat seizing and not okay and being super sick and not being able to walk when she was not like that with me, that is unforgivable.
Now, since this has come out, Antonio Garza has come out to deny being friends with Rhegan in a now deleted TikTok.
Hey, I'm sorry I'm about to go Trisha Paytas, Gabby Hanna on this situation, but me and Rhegan are not friends. We've never hung out, ever. There was one incident where I showed up to the same pregame that she was at, and I had no clue prior to showing up that she was going to be there. I walked in the house and I was gagged. I looked at my friend. He knew I was uncomfortable. This is me texting my boyfriend. This was like Saturday night, so Sunday midnight. I said Rhegan's here, and he was gagged because he knew about everything. However, in all fairness, I understand maybe she's confused, because I have always been very friendly to her, and she's always been very nice to me as well. But then again, this was all interactions we had before this was ever proven to be a true story. So it was a rumor. Again, this was a rumor at the time. Now, not so much. So I was nice to her. And also, I convinced myself that no human, let alone Rhegan, could do this to an animal.
Jacob then came out to address why it took him this long to tell this information to the public, because some of the backlash that he's been getting is why it took him so long to reveal this.
there was a podcast clip that I had never seen before up until 3 days ago mentioning that a TikToker unalived her cat and malnourished the cat. Before that, I had no idea that anybody else ever even knew. After that video started to resurface, everybody just started jumping to their own conclusions without anybody knowing the truth except for me, and I felt obligated to finally come forward and say something. Initially, I tried to remain anonymous, but even after the text of me talking about it with somebody came forward, that still wasn't enough evidence for some people, and they still didn't believe it, and a lot of false narratives were still being spread. The bottom line was the cat was sick and it needed to be taken to the vet immediately.
He goes on to say that he actually got 7 on August 6th and not August 4th like Rhegan had said.
The thing she says is that 7 ran away on the 4th, but the truth is I got 7 on the 6th, and I know this for sure because I remember Rhegan went to a party the night that her cat ran away. The reason I didn't directly go to her and say your cat needs to go to the vet is because she made it very clear that we were not very friendly with each other around this time, and if I would have gone and said that your cat needs to go to the vet, she would have told me to mind my own business and that she's got it under control. And I didn't think that I had time to argue with her and try to convince her to take it to the vet. It just needed to go immediately. And I was willing to do whatever by any means necessary to get that cat to the vet. A lot of people also are asking why I have videos of her having seizures and not being in good health. And that was simply to be able to show the vet exactly what was happening at home.
So that's what all parties involved have had to say as of right now. It's a lot of information to take in, and the internet feels pretty divided on the situation, although most people just kind of agree that everyone kind of seems at fault for something here. And I agree that I just feel like this poor cat was done so wrong by everyone involved. Rhegan should have taken the cat to the vet the moment that she noticed that she was sick. Though she said that she was getting better, there's obviously something wrong if a cat is getting sick often. Now, the roommate, Jacob, should have told Rhegan about the cat in the end. If he felt that he needed to rescue the cat and get it checked out, then okay, but he definitely should have confronted her about the condition once he got confirmation that it was in critical condition. I know that he said that he felt like she didn't care, but still, just so she knew the truth, it was probably best, because now the story is 10 times messier than it probably ever needed to be, because Rhegan thought that the cat ran away this whole time. So that's what's come out. I certainly want to know what you guys think about this whole mess of a situation. Let me know your thoughts if you guys have seen any of this going around on TikTok. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.